What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ronald, and today we're discussing just some things I've been learning in the space of cloud engineering and cloud infrastructure. So I already been doing AWS here and there. Mainly, I just went over this particular cohort, and I really want to doing a whole bunch of knowledge dumps and dumps of knowledge so I can be able to reaffirm what I learned. So what we're going to be discussing today is AWS networking, and let's see how fast I can discuss that and explain that. Pretty much what you want to start off in the very basic foundation and premise of AWS networking is your VPC. Your VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. Pretty much this is an isolated environment where you will put your resources in. So this is your EC2 instance, you have your NAT gateways, you have your subnets, and you got a whole bunch of resources in your databases that will be in this VPC. So it's just closed off individual little networking private cloud. All right, you got that. Now within this VPC, you have subnets, and typically you specify how many IP ranges in this VPC. Boom, divide the subnets up and get the right amount of addresses in the subnets. And these subnets is where you can put these into individual little places and clouds inside the VPC. Now, there's a difference between a public subnet and a private subnet. Let's go over a public subnet. Typically, you have your internet gateway that's connected to your VPC. You attach that to the VPC to ensure that, hey, this is how you're getting internet traffic on the internet. So that internet gateway is how you connect. It's like, a cord that you plug into your computer for the internet and gives you access to the internet. That's how I can think of internet gateway. But in order for a public subnet to be routed to that internet gateway to get internet connection, you have to use a routing table. So you have to specify, hey, this is the allow traffic to come in, and this is the path in which you want to take, which is, this internet gateway. So you have your source and you have your destination or something like that. Yeah, your destination. So, and how I look at it is like, hey, this is where you want to go. This is the road you're gonna take. But that's a public subnet. A public subnet is defined by connecting directly to the internet with an internet gateway. Now let's go over a private subnet. So first you have to establish a NAT gateway. So boom, you have a NAT gateway. And then you define the routing table for this private subnet to, allow traffic to go to this NAT gateway. Then the NAT gateway goes to a routing table that allows traffic to go through the internet gateway. And that pretty much defines a private NAT. So it needs to go through this traffic of going through the NAT, going through the internet gateway in order to be defined as a private gateway, because it's not directly connected. That NAT is in between
intermediary
to ensure that this is a private net and you can't directly access it. Now let's go over some security stuff. We know that the subnets can get traffic and allow traffic through these different roads and different paths with these routing tables. How do we define what inbounds and outbounds is allowed in, or even just into the EC2 instances? So first we define the security groups. The security groups is very fundamental things in regards to allowing. It's like the firewall of the network. And security groups are attached typically at the instant level, and they're very much stateful, meaning that when you allow traffic to come in at a certain port, then it's pretty much implied that you want to allow that traffic to go out. And that's how security groups work. So you allow some type of IP addresses to come in for the 43 port, and then boom, it allows that traffic to go out for that EC2 instance. Now you have your NACLs. Your NACLs are your network access control lists. And pretty much what these NACLs are typically used for, and they're very much state lists, meaning that this is if you want to get very, very much granular with your security. In reverse of like security groups, you're allowing traffic to come in, but the NACLs are defined at the subnet level, so that this pretty much overrides what the security groups do. So if you really want to get granular and say, hey, stop the traffic from going out, you define a NACL for outbound to say stop going out for 43 port traffic. And that's how you can define NACLs, and you'll be able to lock things down with traffic. And that's pretty much it in regards to networking from a fundamental standpoint. there's definitely way more stuff there. I can definitely go into depth about IP addresses, but this is just a really quick video. So hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.